This video is going to cover Google Drawings and how you can create images to put inside of your Canvas course. So to get started, we're going to want to find Google Drawings. It's this quick Google search here. So if we search for Google Drawings, it's usually the top hit, and we're going to go ahead and click on it, and it'll take us into the interface. So here we are inside of our interface, and two things to note. You'll know you're there because in the top left, you'll see this kind of red page icon. And we start off with an untitled drawing, so I'm going to go ahead and title this up here. And last but not least, you'll notice here it's going to actually start auto-saving all the changes that we make as we work through our project. So if I make some changes in here, it'll save those changes every couple seconds. So it's a great way to kind of have a backup in case you lose internet connection, or maybe you make a really awesome image and then you forget to save it and then later you have to go find it. That doesn't happen with this. You could just simply go into your Google Drive and search for the name of the image you created, and it should show up for you. Last but not least, you can see I'm logged in over here under my email account. You want to make sure that you're actually logged in under an email account that's going to be one that's accessible and one that you use all the time. So I use my Mesa Public Schools one because that's kind of where I keep all my work stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get started and talk about creating images inside of Google Drawings. Now there's lots of really cool tools in here. I'm only going to cover a couple that I think are really useful, but please feel free to come in here, try some different things. There's lots of cool stuff. So to get started, what I'm going to do is, right now I have a default size for my image. One thing you can do is this little checkerboard here. This is actually, you could consider this like the project space. So if I make an image here, like I'll just make a quick square. The square is inside of my project space, but like let's say I wanted to create like a button for my course, or let's say I wanted to create a banner for my course, right? So these dimensions of my project might not really fit the button or the thing that I'm trying to create. So I'm going to delete this square. I'm going to show you how to change these project dimensions. You can do it really quickly by grabbing this corner and just shrinking it down. You can also grab the corner and make it larger, and you can change the length and things. So that's quick, but it doesn't really tell you what the size is. So let's show you how to change the size. We're going to go to File. We're going to go to Page Setup. And now to get started, I'm just going to go ahead and make like a banner sort of style. And in order to do that, you can see we've got some default options here for the project size, but we're going to go to Custom. I'm going to change this to pixels. And then we're going to start off with 2000 by 400. We'll hit Apply. And you notice that course project space here is now changed. So we've got a kind of a banner set up here, and the benefit of having this project space like this is you'll know exactly what you're going to get once you save your image. So let's add some fun stuff to it. I'm going to begin by inserting an image, so I'm going to come up here and click this button here. And there's lots of great ways to insert an image, so please feel free to come back, check these out. I'm just going to choose this one here, upload from my computer, because I grabbed an image earlier that we're going to use for this demonstration. So now I've imported this image by selecting it and hitting open. The image is inside of my banner, so I can click and drag this around, and I can use these red bounding like lines to kind of line it up and center it in my project if I needed to. Now with my image selected, there's a really cool feature. It's the crop feature. You might have seen it in some other tools, and it's in here as well. If I select the crop feature here at the top, I'm actually able to drag this bar around and crop out parts of my image that I might not want. So now, instead of having that bottom piece, I just got my Canvas logo here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a shape to our image here. So I'm going to come up to the top, and let's see if we could pick a fun one. I hear you screaming at home, pick that one. I'm sorry if I missed the one that you wanted. I'm just jump on this one here. I like this one. So now with it selected, I'm just going to click and drag it out, and I've created an image. So these shapes here are really neat because you have a lot of customization for them as well. Here at the top, let's go ahead, we'll change the color to something a little different. And you can see we can change the border as well for this image. So kind of a neat way, and it's ultra quick to create these shapes. Now you might have noticed that this covered up my original Canvas logo image, and there's a quick way to fix that and kind of organize the layering of the images in your project. The quickest way is to right click or two-finger click if you're using like a trackpad on a laptop, and you'll see this interface show up. And in this interface, once you click on your image, like with your right click, you're going to come down to order, and you're going to have these options here. You can send it to the back and send it to the front. You can either do it one step at a time. So if you have multiple images, you can choose how they're layered. Or if you just want to take this image and send it all the way to the back, you can click on send to back. You'll notice here, because I had two images, this shape, this like scroll here is now at the very back, and my canvas image is visible again, and I'm able to move that around. Same with the image in the back if I wanted to line it up. So the next thing we're going to do is add some text to our image here, and then we're going to take a look at downloading it and putting it in Canvas. So to add some text, I'm going to come up here to the text box. I'm going to click on this icon and click and drag out to the space I want for my text. And if you make this box a little bigger than really what you need, that's okay. You can resize this too. So I'm going to drag this out, and I'm going to add some text. And now that I've created the text, again, you've got some really cool options to change things up here. So I'm going to highlight it. Let's go ahead and make some adjustments. Make it a little bigger. Pick a fun font. And maybe we'll make it italics and underlined as well. So now that we've done that, a couple things we can do. If you notice this box being a little bit small, it kind of squishes it up. But if you click and drag it out, you can adjust that text inside of the box as well. And once again, if I hover my mouse over the text, you'll see it's turned into this plus sign, and I'm able to click and drag that text around on my image. So I could resize these things how I saw fit. Let's see if we can use those lines again to line it up. There we go. We just made a really quick image here, and let's see if we can put it inside of our Canvas course now. So when I'm finished, I've got this item here, and there's a couple ways you can share. If you are familiar with embedding, you can embed it by going to Publish to the Web. However, if you're going to be making interactive content like buttons and things you want people to click on, my suggestion would be to go to the Download section and download your image as a PNG. A JPEG will work just as well. A PNG, however, will give you this nice transparent background. Anywhere where those checkerboards are, that'll be transparent. So kind of a neat feature there. So if we go to download, we're going to go to PNG. And you can see in the bottom right down here, or I guess that's the left, excuse me, my image has been downloaded. So what we're going to do is I'm going to place this inside of my Canvas course. So I'm going to jump back to my Canvas course here. And I've created a page inside of my Canvas course, and you can do this in a lot of different spaces as long as it has this rich content editor, which is this little box here, and the icons at the top. You can kind of place any image and text and stuff inside of that. So let's go ahead and add this image. I'm going to make this box a little bigger. And here at the top, we're going to select Images, and we're going to go to Upload Image. And we're going to just click on this rocket ship here, and we're going to go find that image on my computer. Now, if you get to a point where you're going through this menu and you can't seem to find the image, but when you downloaded it in Google Chrome, the little image is located down here, you can have a little shortcut and just click and drag it right into this space, and it will do the same thing as if you were going to find it through the file locator. So now I've dragged my image in here. What I'm going to do is hit Submit. And now you can see it's going to load that image up inside of my Canvas course. And if I hit Save, I now have that image inside of my Canvas course. So this would be a great way to include a button, or if you just wanted to add some images to your course, it's super simple and easy. One last thing I want to point out while we're inside of Canvas is you can still, again, change the size of this image. So if it didn't quite work out how you want it to, you can either use the options, make it large, or you can just simply click and drag out the image that way too. So if you get back in your course and you decide, you know what, my banner wasn't big enough or it's too small, you can again make those adjustments inside of Canvas. So I hope this was a helpful video. Please, if you have any questions, reach out to any EdTech trainers or any online instructional design coaches, and we'd be happy to get with you and show you a little bit more about using Canvas. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.